What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the OzSide Football channel, your number one place for all things football with an Australian twist. We're back with transfers. Harry, how are ya?
It's a great time to be alive, isn't it, Mr. Blanco in
It
Sydney?
is. It is.
Yeah,
I'm loving the great indoors.
yeah.
I'm loving the stay at home.
It is
I'm
what it
loving
is,
it.
but guess what? We keep up to date with all the football because we have nothing better to do.
That's fucking right. We're gonna do the same
Yeah.
format as last week. We're gonna go Harry with the confirms. I'm gonna talk about some rumors. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna dive in. Let's just fucking do it.
Club of the week. I will say this based on transfers. Marseille. By far.
Marseille.
By far.
Bloody
Marseille.
hell. They're going crazy.
By far, yeah. So a big trio of goalkeeper movement happened this week.
Yes.
What kind of kicked it off was Pau Lopez has made his way from Roma to Marseille on loan. Smart move by Roma, not letting him go. For those who don't know, I'm covering League on first. So then you go across there and, our today, but yesterday in England, William Saliba went from Arsenal to Marseille on loan. And then they also signed a centre-back, 26 years old, kind of gives me Pablo Mari vibes, from the Brazilian top division to Marseille, 4.5 million, great for squad rotation, and he was a really good player in Brazil, so it seemed from stats. But if there's anyone that watches Brazilian football, feel free to correct me. So they made those three signings that accompany Guendouzi and Senghus Udna that are already there. Now, there were two other massive transfers in Ligue 1. First being Donnarumma.
Oh,
Obviously, that's
for free.
For free. AC Milan are biting themselves, but at the same time, what people don't realize is AC Milan just got a huge wage bill off their books. And guess what? They signed Mike Maignan
From Lille.
a while ago. So
Yeah.
for everyone who thinks they haven't got a replacement, they've got a perfect replacement. Obviously not Donnarumma quality or age, but still will win you a league with him in the side. He's just won one.
Yeah, exactly.
You can easily win the league with him in the sticks. So PSG now have the conundrum of two world-class goalkeepers. Who gets priority?
It's got to be Donnarumma. I like that he's wearing a number 50.
Yeah,
I just think it's odd. I think it's odd, and I think it's weird, and I like it.
It would seem it'd have to be Donnarumma after the Euros.
Definitely.
But Keylor Navas at the same time, what a keeper. So at this point in time, they've got two world-class goalkeepers. Keylor Navas could make his way out. You never know.
He could leave, but I also feel like Keylor Navas could just play those like random games in League.
Well, he might play, and the
like,
cup.
And then Donnarumma will play like all those important games, Champions Leagues, games against Lille and Marseille.
I'll say this. If PSG don't win the Champions League this year,
it's a flop.
Failure.
It's a failure.
It's a failure.
It's an absolute failure.
You cannot spend that much money and not bring home a Champions League.
You can't bring in Donnarumma, Hakimi. Who else did they bring? Wijnaldum.
Yeah,
Ramos. Who else are they bloody have? Sergio Ramos. Like you can't bring in all those
already
guys.
with Mbappe, Neymar, Verratti.
You cannot.
Kimpembe, Marquinhos, all of them.
You can't do that. You literally cannot.
So, but my favourite transfer of the week in terms of Ligue 1 was a player by the name of Calvin Stengs.
Oh my! I'm so glad you talked about him.
Yeah, so he went from AZ Alkmaar to Nice for 12 million. I don't really think he's a direct replacement for anyone at Nice, but Nice did let go of a player in the midfield called Liz Malou that went to Wolves, but we'll talk about that later. But that obviously made the transfer fee more understandable. It was only 12 million, but they only really spent 6.
Yeah.
He's a right midfielder. He's not a right winger, so to speak. I looked at his heat map earlier, and he doesn't spend too much time in the front third. A lot of deliveries come from a bit out, like more so the middle third, the front part of the middle third. Some interesting stats from the Eredivisie. Bear in mind, he played for Alkmaar, so they're not Ajax, they're not PSV, and they're not Feyenoord. But what he did have was 7 goals and 5 assists, which I think is very impressive. To have over 10 goal contributions to any team that's not winning, like not in the top 2 or 3 in the league is nuts. So that's why when you see like Danny Ings get 20, like it's crazy. Like it's actually very highly rated. But yeah, 2.1 dribbles a game, which was like it's for anyone that watches knowing a midfielder, 2.1 dribbles a game successful is actually quite big. So yeah, he was a great signing and kind of makes it. League One's starting to look a bit better this year now that Lille have won the league, obviously. Marseille are strengthening. Lyon are yet to move too much, but then Nice make signings like this. I think Stangs is like Stangs, if you have FIFA, you'd know about his influence.
Stangs is a great.
It sounds dumb, but
a great winger. Someone that a couple of years ago I wanted Everton to buy.
Yeah, a lot of clubs that play like borderline Europa to like Europa League clubs, they are after him. Nice are coming off a pretty disappointing season, to be honest. So that's it's a good signing for them, and hopefully it can lead the front line. I forget who Nice have up front, but I think it's Casper Dolberg, and there's someone else in there. Claude Maurice is a centre midfielder for them. He's pacey as all shit. So yeah, they've got a nice little interesting team building there. Now, in terms of Ligue 1, my favourite transfer was Calvin Stangs. But we saw, if we go to the Serie A, we didn't see much movement at all. At all. But there was one transfer that's part of this goalkeeper triangle. Yeah, that was Rui Patricio from Wolves to Roma. Yeah. Portuguese connection to Mourinho. Obviously, Mourinho likes him and wants him there. 11.5 million, which I was surprised by.
That is a lot. He's what, 32? 33?
I think he's 33.
33, yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised that 11 mil got chucked at a 33-year-old goalkeeper.
Yeah, but then at the same time, goalkeepers don't age like normal players do. Like, as they get older, they get
4 years
better.
Out of him.
Yeah.
So I thought Serie A was pretty quiet. Some of the newly promoted teams signed some squad rotation players, but nothing to really talk about. No. But whilst we're on the topic of goalkeepers, we move to La Liga, where our Aussie transfer of the week, Matty Ryan, made his way from Brighton to Sociedad on a free.
Yeah, good on him. I thought, to be honest, I thought Arsenal would have kept him, if anything, just as like a rotating keeper.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, who do you have behind Bernd Leno? You have
Gustav Runnison,
that's him.
That's not how you say it, but yeah, that's how you read it.
But he was awful. Against that game, against Man City, he was awful.
You got to give him more chances, I reckon. You got to give him way more chances, man. I guess it's hard. It's unforgivable league. But
Sociedad, a very good team for Matty Ryan to get into. A very, very good team.
Mikel Merino, David Silva, Oyarzabal, Alexander Isak at this point in time. And there's a few other defenders in there as well. So, they've got a nice little team building up.
Very, very good team.
Yeah, and they're coming off a great season for their standards. Now, there was 3 other transfers that were surprising. First was Kays Ruiz Atil, 17-year-old Moroccan/French midfielder from PSG. Come through with a class of, for all the Instagram boys, Javi Simons. Come through here with him type of thing. But he actually made his way to Barcelona B, which I think is Barcelona trying to sign a decent little young player and putting him in the B team. So
they can't afford him in the first team.
Yeah, well, like it helps out with the finances of, all right, let's put him in the B team first. But obviously he's 18, so he's plenty of time to play him in the B team. There's no rush. And then we saw Boulaye Dia. He moved from Reims to Villarreal for 12 million, which I thought was big.
That's a good little signing there.
Yeah, Villarreal got rid of Carlos Bacca.
Yeah.
So they needed a replacement for 12 million. I think he's around early 20s to mid 20s. So I unfortunately didn't get to see what his goals and assists were for last season, but I do know Reims did play well for where they were expected to finish. They finished higher than what they were expected. So yeah, good striker. And Villarreal, we know, are coming off a great season. So I have no doubt their transfer market business will be similar to what Leicester does when they get a trophy, is move smart with the money that comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be afraid to sell your big players, because then just trust your scouting, replace those players for cheaper or whatever that may be.
Yeah, they know their style of play now. They know that what they're looking for, and they would have found it. And for 12 million, it's like Calvin Stangs, exact same price. That it's just, they know what they're getting, and they can move with it. Now, another one we saw, and we mentioned this last week, I can't emphasize that enough. Barcelona are selling assets for cheaper than what they're actually worth. Now, I don't think he's that great. I think he's a byproduct of being a Barcelona player. But Carlos Olenya went to Getafe for 5 million, which I thought was pretty surprising.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. But like I thought, like for 5 million, like you don't really get young Spanish midfielders for 5 million.
It's a lot of money for someone like that. But to be fair, he's gone from Spanish to Spanish. He'll play more games there. He might turn out to be someone good. And for 5 million, if you get a player that's been in that Barcelona academy, that's learned the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, we said
Barcelona,
this. They know what they got to have some idea of what's happening.
Yeah, they got to know how to play. They know how to kick a ball. They'll know how to kick a football well. So for 5 mil, especially in Spain where the money is not all that crazy, especially how their structure is in terms of TV, where obviously Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, they get all the money and then the rest sort of just filters down. So there's not really much being shared there. For 5 mil, why not? Take it. Take a Barcelona boy.
I think Getafe got a decent little deal, personally.
Yeah.
I think Getafe got a decent little deal there, and they'll be looking at. They've already had Cucurella on loan and stuff like that. So, yeah, they've been doing a bit of business with Barcelona in recent times.
Everyone's going to do business with Barcelona soon.
Yeah.
Everyone will be knocking on the door and be like,
well, when we get to rumours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
There's a bit of business moving with Barcelona. But if we loop back to Nice, Pierre Lees-Malou went to Norwich for 6 million. Now, he's a direct replacement for, I'm going to butcher their names, but Stiepermann and Leitner, the two Germans
they just let go.
Yeah, so he's for 6 million. He's actually coming off a decent season at Nice. So Norwich, like I know you're a big fan of that Rashika move. This is similar.
Yes.
Decent little move for 6 million. 6 million is not that much in this modern day market. And yeah, I think it was a good move from Norwich. And that's about it on the Norwich front. But we move to Watford, who are bringing in reinforcements from the Championship. If there's any teams that's going to buy from the Championship, it'd be the Championship clubs because they're actually playing these players, and the players in this squad would most probably be able to say, hey, like, we think this guy, they could actually have a say in that. If the club came to them and said, we want to sign this guy, how'd you find playing against him? And I know about him from watching highlights. He's an actual force of nature. His name's Peter Atibo. He's coming from Stoke, Nigerian.
From Stoke, right?
Yeah, proper force in nature.
Yeah.
And just sturdy up the defensive midfield. Will Hughes is coming off a great season in defensive midfield, but I feel like he
needs to push. I reckon he push further up.
Yeah, I remember growing up, Will Hughes, when he was at Derby, was touted to be like an unreal player. But obviously he didn't reach those heights, but there's nothing to say that he can't reach new heights with Watford if they stay up.
No, that's it.
So if we go to Wolves, you come back to the goalkeeper market, some quick maths. Rui Patricio, 11.5 million sold, spent 8 of that to get the direct replacement, Portuguese, decent keeper, plays Europe, Jose Sarr. Bro, if it's not broken, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's it.
There's nothing to create, like just bring in another Portuguese bloke that's been doing the job in Europe. Before he got to Wolves, Patricio had been doing bits for Sporting. So, there's no need to really, And speaking of Portuguese, Nuno Tavares from Benfica to Arsenal.
Yeah, completed that signing to Arsenal.
You
got your backup left back now.
Yeah, look, you sign Kieran Tierney on an extension, and what do? Oh, you need a right back. You need a centre mid. Hey, you need reinforcement in centre back. No. We're signing a left back.
we got left back.
Don't tell me what to do. We're signing another left back, and we're going to get another one. I guarantee it. But his stats aren't crazy, but he only averages around a half a game, 45 minutes.
He'll be a nice little player to develop under Tierney. Come in those random ass Europa League games and cups and
and I've always said this: when you get players that start at fullback, you actually have no clue where the fuck they could end up on that pitch. Like, because fullbacks are so versatile in the modern day era.
Well, look at Saka. Saka played at left back and now is a winger.
Yeah, and then if you look on the other hand of it, Tierney is actually quite good as a left-sided centre-back in a 3 system. So, it depends on a few things, especially
maybe that's the plan. Put Nuno Tavares left back, put Tierney as a left-sided centre-back in a 3. Yeah.
Mate, Tierney's a proper force. I would love to see him in our centre-back.
Hey,
But he also
maybe
has great attacking flashes.
Yeah.
I forget who the goal was against, but you know what I'm talking about last year.
Yeah.
Like when he cuts in and hits with his right. That was awesome. Nonetheless, that's enough about Arsenal. I'm sick of them. My favourite transfer this week, and we will be doing an episode on this club in the coming weeks, is Crystal Palace.
God, I can't wait for that episode.
Mikel Olise from Reading.
I'm loving the business that they're doing.
Yeah, comes from Reading. Omar Richards, obviously on the same team. So Reading produced 2 great players last year. And Mikel Olise, 7 goals and 12 assists in the championship last season.
He's a baller.
Yeah, so I thought, like, you know what, 19 goal contributions in 38 games
in the championship for a teenager.
Is not bad at all. So he's French, and I feel like that's just another Eberechi Eze signing.
Yeah,
Eze tore the league up a bit more than Olise did, but nonetheless, now you have Zaha, Eze, and Olise in a if you were to play a 4-2-3-1, so to speak. 3 out of 4 attackers is what I'm saying. And whether Zaha goes central, whether Eze is more central, but even Eze goes in as a second striker, whatever you do, Palace are starting to actually build here quite strong.
Their team is very nice. And as we said, we're going to make a video on Palace, and I cannot wait for that Palace video.
Yeah, that'll be in depth, and we've got to wait a bit longer, around a month, basically, so we can actually wait for all the signings to be completed. But yeah, that's unreal. That was my favorite piece of business this week, accompanied by one other signing we'll get to in a second. So we saw 2 in Liga NOS. Me and Jaden have agreed we want to try and cover these leagues a bit more.
Yeah.
These are pretty standard signings, but João Mario went from Inter to Benfica. Kind of that Nuno Tavares money, just kind of let's put that into wages. That's what it's somewhat seen for that.
A good little. He's not on the young side, but he's a nice.
He's a good midfielder.
He's a good midfielder for the Portuguese league. Yeah. Yeah.
And Ruben Vinagre from Wolves went to Sporting on loan as a left wing back. Now, what does that mean? Who's Sporting's left back? Nuno Mendes.
Nuno, yeah.
Nuno Mendes. Credit to FC Wonder Kid for that pronunciation. So, what does that mean for Nuno Mendes, so to speak? I don't know.
Maybe he goes to Arsenal.
Yeah, 3 left backs. I like it. Not enough left backs. But no, I think he goes to City at this point.
Yeah?
Yeah, City seem like... there's plenty of front runners, but City seem like they could do with a left back more than any of the other big clubs.
Yeah, I guess so, because Zinchenko's more like a midfielder.
Zinchenko was a midfielder.
Yeah.
Before he got to City, he was attacking midfielder. Even when he got to City, he played centre mid.
Yeah, exactly.
He turned left back under instruction, not under by a natural natural progression. So, yeah, we'll get to rumours in a second, but that move showed that Sporting are most probably signing replacements before they sell. Yeah.
Which is smart.
Yeah, very smart. Now, if we move to the Bundesliga, we have 2 transfers that were very nice.
Yeah, there's one that I really like.
Yeah, I think it's the same one as me.
Yeah, probably is.
So we saw Mitchell Bakker go from PSG to Leverkusen, 7 million.
That's the one.
I was kind of surprised. As they've already got Wendell and the Dutch left back. I forget his name. You're gonna have to forgive me, but there's a Sint-Graven.
There you go.
So they go with Wendell and Sint-Graven, but
I feel like they'll move one of those two because I feel like Mitchell Bakker is good enough to start for him.
Yeah, and who knows where either Wendell can move, and also Sint-Graven could maybe move around the pitch. Like you just don't know. Like I said, fullbacks are so versatile. There's every chance they can move into a centre midfielder position or the other side of the pitch at right back. But my actual favourite one's a bit different to yours. Jasper Lindstrom went from Brøndby to Frankfurt. Now, he last year in the Danish top division scored 10 goals and made 10 assists in the season, with averaging 2.5 shots a game.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is big. Awesome. Frankfurt have picked him up, 7 million.
Shit.
So that's that Andre Silva money.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah.
what have they done with Andre Silva? Sold him for 20. They already brought in Santos Borré on a
For free.
and now they've brought in Jasper Lindstrom, who I had no idea about. I had to research. I can't lie. And once I researched him, I was genuinely surprised. I was like, wow, that is so far that seems to be a mad little signing there. So 7 million.
I just love how I love how German clubs do their business, man.
Yeah,
they just.
Well, I remember it's a bit off topic, but the Hoffenheim, one of the Hoffenheim, the sporting director, he said in a public interview, "I'm not afraid to admit I found Bobby Firmino on Football Manager." He goes, "That's where we put our data into that, and we told the scouts to match it, and Bobby Firmino is what came up, and then they scouted him."
Yeah,
I think that's crazy.
That's nuts.
But it shows it's like an in-depth look, and they know exactly what they want. Brentford are the same. They got the same philosophy. Know exactly what they want. I think that's why Brentford haven't moved too much, because they're waiting for. They won't sign willy-nilly like a lot of Premier League clubs do. Transfer deadline day.
Well, Brentford have to sign players that fit within their philosophy and the way they play.
Yeah, and they need to sign a bit of versatility within them as well, because they will, coming up to the Premier League, they will need to adjust during games. Now, the last confirmed transfer that a lot of people know him, basically for his hair, but also just because he's kind of vibey, Tahith Chong went from United to Birmingham on loan, and that was about it. Nothing too exciting there. He's been on loan before, so yeah, that was all in terms of the confirms. But to wrap it up, my favourites were Mikel Olise, Jasper Lindstrom, and also Calvin Stanks.
Yep. So nice little confirms there. Let's get on to the rumours. And while we're on the Arsenal train, let's gossip. I'll give an update. So Arsenal are moving a bit mad in the transfer window, which is not something we usually see from Arsenal. So obviously, you had William Saliba moving to Marseille, which opens the door to Ben White. Ben White says he wants to move to Arsenal, so now it's down to just the two clubs to work out that deal, which apparently is 50 million.
I think the problem in the deal is if the 50's up front or installments.
It's got to be how they pay the 50, but I think 50 is the one that's gonna it's gonna be 50 mil. As well as that, Locatelli is apparently not moving to Arsenal. He prefers to move to Juventus, but Arsenal are signing Albert Sambi Lokonga from Anderlecht, so it looks like he's going to be that.
That was a good signing.
He's going to be that boy next to Partey instead of Locatelli, which is interesting. And Arsenal are also linked with James Maddison, so they're very interested in James Maddison. He fits what you need. He does fit what you need. But why would you move from Leicester to Arsenal?
At this point in time, I don't know, but on the other hand, Leicester can easily replace him, and he knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it. It's crazy to think that Leicester can replace him, but Arsenal need him. But Leicester, they just move so well with how they produce.
That's it. If I was a Leicester fan, I would see James Maddison moving to Arsenal being like, all right, we're going to get 50 mil or whatever for James Maddison, and we're going to spend 20 mil to replace him.
Yeah.
So I would not be worried if I was a Leicester fan. I'd be happy if I was an Arsenal fan because you're getting what you need. But also 50 million on Ben White is not what you need. But that looks like that's something that...
It's not what you need, but it's what you get.
Yeah, you don't need it, but you want it. But you gotta get it.
You're gonna have to get it. As an Arsenal supporter, you can't be too upset.
Yeah,
it's someone. At this point, I was very upset when I first heard, but now I've just gone, oh yeah, good on you.
Oh,
We've
nice.
Done something.
Mikel, good job.
I can honestly swear he's not in control of that shit. I feel like I think the board signed the players and they just go here, and then he'll just be like, fuck, all right. What the fuck?
I got 7 centre backs now.
Yeah, all shit. But
anyway, Messi is apparently set to sign his new contract with Barcelona, and he's going to take a 50% pay cut for that to happen, which is big respect.
It's what we want in football.
I mean, he'll probably make up that money with some Adidas deal.
Brands cover it.
But respect to him taking that 50% pay cut. That's going to be announced after their financial situation sort of improves. Obviously, we talked about their financial situation and how awful it is at Barcelona in the past couple of weeks. Still the same names being thrown around. Coutinho's being thrown around. Pjanic, Umtiti, Clement Lenglet is being linked with Everton, and I don't want him. But it's fine. But yeah, there's gonna. You know what? It's not what you need, but
it's what you get.
It's what you get. It's what you get. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. But yeah, so Barcelona need to sell some players, and then that Messi contract will be announced. But that's expected to go ahead, which is good. The big one I wanted to talk about was Haaland to Chelsea for 130 million plus either Tammy Abraham or Callum Hudson-Odoi, which Dortmund seem very, very, very convinced that he's not leaving. But 130 million is 130 million.
Dortmund think he can bring more in than that then, obviously.
Yeah, but the thing is, right?
That's what that says. They've already sold Sancho for 70.
Yeah. That'll rise to 90. The thing is, as well, the thing I don't understand is Dortmund need to either sell him this window or lose him next window for 75 million.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you sell him this window, get 130 million and either a Tammy or a Callum Hudson-Odoi, and then just use that 200 mil you just got from the Premier League to improve your squad that way? Haaland...
I don't know if they know how to replace Haaland.
I don't know if you can replace Haaland. He's a generational talent.
That's what I mean. Like you can bring all that money in, but it means fuck all if you can't find a replacement.
There are not many strikers out there that are Haaland. There's Mbappe, and you're not going to get Mbappe. There's Lewandowski.
Mbappe to Dortmund would be awesome.
He'll never go there, though, unless something absolutely mental happens. Like some... Yeah. I don't know, the moon...
He's never going. The
moon moves like 2 centimeters to the left and it just floods the world and Bayern cease to exist. Like, that's the only way... That's the only way he goes to Dortmund. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, honestly, Dortmund have a way of finding, though. They produce
well, they have...
5 years later, they produce Haaland.
They have a young kid in their academy, Mukoko, who's crazy, but he's like 18.
Yeah.
But
he's not even 18, eh?
Yeah, I think he's like 17.
Yeah, he was 16 when he started all that, and that was earlier this year.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, I do see this still happening, whether that's this window or next window, that's to be seen. But I think if I'm Dortmund, I'm crazy to turn down that much money with either a Tammy or a Hudson-Odoi when I know that I'm going to lose him for 75 million next season.
Yeah.
I'd be crazy to turn that down.
I feel like Dortmund are using it as, all right, if they're willing to do that on this offer, maybe let's see for what other clubs or Chelsea are prepared to offer. Because imagine like Madrid comes in with a bit of a better offer and offers them like a decent centre back or so. I don't know, but just offers something that's way better than Hudson-Odoi or Abraham. Like Abraham just does not do what Haaland does, with all due respect to Abraham.
He's a good striker, but he's not Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
The Hudson-Odoi one interests me if they do
for a Sancho replacement.
For a Sancho replacement.
Yeah, but I feel like a Sancho replacement, and I say this just because he's English, but Madueke for PSV.
Yeah, he's a good little player. But then as well as that, you look at it, Sancho, you realistically can't replace Sancho unless you have a Lionel Messi. Purely numbers based. And in terms of the goal, in terms of goal contributions.
That's actually crazy to say.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Those two players that Dortmund have, or had, and will had, you can't replace them. So they're going to need to take the money and rebuild that squad with the money that they take in. And I think from a Chelsea perspective, Haaland sits pretty nicely up top with Pulisic on the left. Maybe you have a Timo Werner coming in on the right. Havertz as well. That's kind of nice.
Crazy.
If you're gonna compete with a Man City with a Harry Kane up top, then that's pretty nice. and a United with a Sancho and a fucking Varane in centre back
Oh yeah, and still like Liverpool will still be doing it.
and Liverpool's still there.
Yeah, and Arsenal with Ben White.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're so fucked.
Oh boy. We'll talk about City. Apparently, City's looking at Lewandowski. I saw that. Apparently, they're either going to go with Harry Kane or Lewandowski, because I don't think they're confident that that Daniel Levy and Tottenham will let Harry Kane go. And I've been
saying to my dad, I think Daniel Levy prays Real Madrid comes in.
I don't think Daniel Levy wants to sell him to Man City. I think Daniel Levy will sell him to a Real Madrid or a PSG or someone else.
He'll sell him overseas, where he only faces them in Champions League.
Exactly, someone else.
Yeah.
Just not City.
Just not English teams. That's what it seems. But I feel like if the right price came, like Levy would have an idea in his head, like, all right, if we get this amount, it's done. Like, just let it happen, because we'll need that money to build a rest of a solid team out, and then we can, go, all right, this is how we're going to win the league. Yeah,
because we said it. I think we said it on the first transfer episode. You're taking the best, the top goals and the top assists out of a 7th place Tottenham team. Where do you think Tottenham's going to be when they don't have the top goal scorer and the top assister in their team? They'll be lucky. 16th. They'll be lucky. They'll be lucky to be. Maybe they'll win against Brighton.
Yeah,
maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe Arsenal will too. We fucking struggle against Brighton. I don't know what it is.
Something's going on in North London.
Yeah, something's happening. Except for Chelsea, they're sweet.
Yeah, Chelsea's good. If they get Haaland, they'll be fine. But that's pretty much all I have for rumours. Oh, I mean, there's a couple two. Go on.
Saul and Griezmann swap.
And then if Saul doesn't go to Barcelona, then it's either Chelsea or Liverpool that's going to go in. Yeah, but it's all dependent on what they get.
Well, the interesting thing is the players have agreed.
Now it's up to the clubs to sort it out.
And from a Madrid perspective, this seems so likely because Rodrigo de Paul, who I didn't include in my confirmed, I can't believe
that's a big one. That. I forgot about that too.
Yeah, Rodrigo de Paul is coming off an amazing Copa America. Is a great centre midfielder, Udinese boy. They've already kind of signed a replacement, and I feel like they're going, all right, our midfield's sweet. We got Koke, we got Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's have a look at. All right, we can improve delivery to Suarez. Yeah, and Griezmann's. I don't care. All right, so Griezmann comes from Sociedad, right? But his Atletico boy. That's where we know Griezmann from.
Yeah,
that's what he was.
That is the Griezmann.
Yeah, I feel like the deal makes so much sense for Atletico at this point in time.
And I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Griezmann as well.
Yeah, I feel like Griezmann would discover a bit of form back at Atletico, so I'm excited by that one. I feel like that's a huge move if that comes off for both clubs.
100%.
Yeah.
And your last one, you said you had two?
Oh, that was it. The two players.
Oh, yeah, the two players. Yeah, no, fair enough. Transfers they're heating up, baby.
Yeah, we're getting to the best time of the year.
We're getting to the best time of the year. Be on the lookout for not only just the podcast and the transfers, as Harry said, we will be churning out those individual club videos. Obviously, we're going to do one about the Mighty Gunners and how come Willian came back fat and why did you lose to Hibernian. And then we'll do one on Everton and why we're going to sign Kalidou Koulibaly when we don't need a centre-back. But...
yeah, even if you don't need a centre-back, he's good.
If you don't need one, you know what? You might as well have one.
Yep. Great.
I think that's the motto of this episode. If you don't need it, you're going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Harry. What do the people need to do?
They need to stay ready and stay on side, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye. Do all the clicking things.
J, we Scotty MJ. Passing the rock, we hitting the fade. Pull up in a whip with 21 bays. Here come the bastards, 21 days. Gun you boy, I know he's a waste. Baby, I know that you want a little taste. I know you want all the bass in your face. Brand new bag and brand new nails. Me and Lil J, we Scotty MJ. Passing the rock, we hitting the fade. Pull up in a whip with 21 bays. Here come the bastards, 21 days. Gun you boy.